Hi and welcome back to our series exploring Snowflake Cortex. In this video we're going to look at two features of Cortex, Universal Search and Snowflake Co-pilot. So I hope you find this video useful. Now search capabilities are super useful and helpful in today's digital world. Now, Snowflake recognized this a while back and purchased a company called Neva. Now Neva were instrumental in things such as Google advertising search and YouTube search. Fast forward 12 months on, after that acquisition has taken place, obviously the Neva employees came into Snowflake, helped use their experience in the search domain and created a service called Universal Search, which is integrated into Snowflake Snowsight's web UI, making it easy to search for tables, objects, data sets on the marketplace, and documentation. So let's get into things in Snowflake and see what this looks like. Here we are now in Snowflake, in the Snowsight web UI now. In the navigation bar on the left-hand side, you've got the search option, which actually takes you to the Universal Search. This allows you to quickly and easily find objects within your account or data products on the marketplace or even documentation within the Snowflake community knowledge base articles. So for example, you can use natural language to describe what you're looking for. Now, when you use the search, you can also use natural language to describe what you're looking for. So you can use keyword search terms such as opportunities, and this will bring up everything in your account that matches that. If there's nothing in your account, in your Snowflake account or environment, it will just simply leave that out. So if we go tables and views, it hasn't found anything. If we go back to all, we've got a bunch of documentation links. If we click one of these, it will take us directly to the Snowflake documentation. So quite handy and quite efficient if you're looking for things, as well as taking you to the marketplace for potentially relevant objects that might be of interest to you. You can also use more conventional language search terms such as sales opportunities that are likely to be close, for example. And again, if you've got CRM or pipeline, sales pipeline data in your Snowflake account, you'll be able to use this search functionality like this. If I go to customer, I know I've got tables in a Snowflake sample database that has customer in there. So if I go, well, here we go, my databases and schemas, Snowflake sample data. I've also got tables and views with relevant columns highlighted here. If I click on one of these tables, it takes me directly into the Object Explorer itself, where it's highlighted the table. It's taking me directly to that table, and then I can go and quickly explore the data I've got. So something that Snowflake have introduced should make it much more efficient to find things that you need easily and quickly. As part of the Snowflake Cortex suite, we've also got an LLM-powered assistant called Snowflake Co-pilot, making it really easy to understand your data structures, and it actually helps you write SQL. Now, Snowflake Co-pilot runs securely within your Snowflake environment. It's fine-tuned by Snowflake, but you don't have any security concerns with the publicly available LLMs out there, such as ChatGPT. In addition, Snowflake Co-pilot also follows the RBAC security model, ensuring that your users only have access to the data assets that you grant them access to. So let's head on over back into Snowflake to see what Snowflake Co-pilot can do for you and your teams. So here we are in the Snowsight web UI. We're going to create a new SQL worksheet, and notice now we've got this little tab saying Ask Co-pilot. We can hide that, or we can click on it and make it available. It says it's in preview. And also says, welcome to Snowflake Co-pilot, and it can help you with a number of things. So it can write SQL queries based on your available data. It helps to explore data, learn about Snowflake concepts and features. But it also mentions a couple of warnings. It may take a few seconds to complete a response, and it may generate inaccurate responses. So let's start working with it and testing it out. What can I actually do? So let's type in a question. What types of questions can I ask about this data set? Now, if I don't pick anything else, initially it will ask me to select a database and schema first because it needs to know the context. So down here, I can select my database. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to pick Snowflake sample data, and I'm going to pick one of the TPCH performance baseline data sets. So now I've got my database and schema I'm going to work with. Let me try that again. What type of questions can I ask about this data set and see what comes back? Okay, so it's telling me it's a performance benchmark data. It's got tables related to orders, regions, parts, line items, etc., etc. It also gives me what is the total revenue generated from orders. So a sample question, a sample business question it's generated, and it's telling me here, if you want to know about the total revenue generated from orders, I need to then query the orders and look at some in the O_total price column. It also gives me other questions. Which region has the most customers? Again, tell me that I would need to join tables together. We could also ask further clarifying questions about the data, such as what type of events can I filter by? Let's try that one. We'll paste that in there. And again, it's using the context where we're at, and it's telling you what you can do. So it's looking at order events. Using the orders table, you can filter by order date, order priority, order status, or the shipping priority. And again, it's looking at other tables within this context. So it's really helping you explore the data set without even having to open up on the navigation pane on this side and having to manually explore that. Super fast, super efficient. Again, you don't need to trust it 100%, but it can expedite that process of data analysis, especially if you're unfamiliar with a new data set that you need to work with. Let's move on and look at how we can construct and run a SQL statement. And we're going to ask how many orders were there in the past year. We're not going to specify a year, we're just going to see how it deals with this. So here we go. So it's giving me an approach. So it's telling me what it's going to do. So it's going to use the orders table. It's going to filter on the orders date column to only include the orders for the past year. And it's going to use the orders table and filter on that order date column, and it's going to count the number of orders. It also gives me the SQL to do that. If I look at the SQL, it's using everything from today, the current date, and looking at the previous 12 months of data by using the year part of the date and subtracting 1 from that. So again, it's not looking at 2023, because today we're in 2024. If I was more specific with the query, it would do that, but it's actually taking it literally how many were in the past year and giving us a query that will do that, and also explaining the approach. If I click add, it immediately adds that SQL to my open worksheet. I could also click run, and it would paste it into the worksheet and also run it. Notice I've got 0 orders. So let's find where our orders are then. So let's say, how many orders have there been year by year? And let's see how it constructs this query. So again, we're adding a level of complexity. It's giving us the approach again. It's providing us the SQL. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm just going to click run and see what comes up. And whilst that's running, we can see it's going to use the orders table. It's going to extract the year from the order date column. It's going to group the orders by that extracted year, and then count the orders in each group. So here we go, from 1992 through to 1998, it's showing me the orders. We can also ask other questions about this, like what was the most expensive? So again, gives us the approach, gives us the SQL, it's constructing a query of the orders table and ordering it by the total price. If I click run on that, let it execute, we'll get the order key in the total order price, 558,000. If we scroll back up, we look at what else we can query with Snowflake Co-pilot within this data set. So we've got customers, nation, and region. So we can say which countries didn't order any items. So we're getting a little bit more complicated now. We're forcing it to join nation to customer to orders. And let's just add that to our query window so we can take a look at it and space this out. I'm going to get rid of the other queries. So we've got returning the nation name from the nation table. Well, we're just going to execute that manually in here rather than click run on the Copilot side of things. We've got no result. So it must mean that every nation that we've got in here has made an order. So let's have a look at that. Give me the number of orders and average. We'll do average cost per order by nation. So again, joining those 3 tables together, let's see what this comes up with. Every nation should have some orders. So we've got 25 rows in here, bunch of orders, and average cost of order. Let's just validate something. How many nations are there in total? We expect all of them made a sale, and if all of them appear in here, we've got 25 rows. So let's have a look if that is right. If there's 25 nations, which there are, that previous answer was probably correct. Finally, one more question. Who was our best customer? Let's make it a bit vague and see how it determines the best customer. And again, even though I didn't specify it, it's telling me the approach it's taken is the one with the highest total spending. So it's making some assumptions based upon the question I've asked. Some cases that could be really beneficial and really help. In other cases, it might jump to the wrong assumption. But it's given us the approach so we can validate what that looks like. It also should keep the context as well. If you use ChatGPT within the same session, it'll keep the context so you can keep building on it and building on it. So I'm going to say, can you give me the SQL for this query? And it's using the previous questions I've asked, and it's given me this query for the number of nations from the previous one, but also in the same answer, it's given me the one where I'm looking for the best customer, and it's assuming that best is by who spent the most. So you've got this customer here, customer 694366, total spending. Again, you've got a new data set in Snowflake, you're unfamiliar with it, or let's say it's your first week on a new job in Snowflake and you've been asked to do some analysis. Co-pilot could be your best friend initially in helping you understand what data you've got to work with and how best to explore that data set. Hope you found that video useful. If you did, keep watching, keep subscribing. New videos coming very soon.